updates on the detention of the Congress leaders. Pictures have now emerged about their detention. Jairam Ramesh, Mallikarjun Kharge, Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary, all the others, Ranjit Ranjan, all the senior Congress MPs have been detained. They've been taken to Kingsway camp. Sachin Pilot and Shashi Tharoor on your screen there. Also the Youth Congress chief. They've all been taken to Kingsway camp, and in the last 10 days or so, we have seen such protests, we've seen detentions, and they've all been, okay, Rahul Gandhi also in this particular picture. So Rahul Gandhi also at Kingsway camp, it seems. Arun Dhanta is with me on the broadcast. Arun, so Rahul Gandhi, Sachin Pilot, Shashi Tharoor, Mallikarjun Kharge, I think the entire Congress top brass, the members of parliament, they are all now in North Delhi. Possibility that they could be there for the next 6-8 hours, as the precedent of the last week has shown us.
Well, that's right, Arunima, and it is very much expected because the planning has already been done by the Congress party, and therefore the police will not take any chances to let them go early. So perhaps they will try to consume the entire day before they relieve them. But in fact, the criticism which Congress party was facing in last couple of years, that whenever it comes to the first family of the Congress party, then only their cadre, their leaders come to the ground, protest against the government. And that is something which Congress party is trying to change, and that is something which is the biggest criticism, not only from the BJP, but in fact the political analysts have been saying the same thing. And also the statement of Salman Khurshid is also adding to that, because it is something which Congress party is giving on a platter to the BJP, because BJP has been maintaining this fact that the entire Congress party, the entire ideology and the cadre is only for one family, and whenever it comes to that family, they hit the streets. And this statement is surely going to be picked up by the BJP, and they will surely latch on to this. And as far as today's intensity of the protest is concerned, that's something which Congress party has done, and perhaps they need more such aggressive protest strategy to really counter the government and the BJP, and that is something on which they are failing. But today again they tried to meet President. Police have already made it very clear there is one, section 144 in New Delhi district, so there is no permission for anybody to protest or to gather in this area. And therefore we had seen, these MPs were detained. In fact, those, cadres which were led by Priyanka Gandhi,
right,
Vadra, they were also detained by the police. So there was no way for them to reach 7 LKM as they had planned, because two important destinations which they had in mind. One was the President House, second was 7 LKM. So in both these places there was massive security presence, and they were not able to actually reach to these places.
Right. Arun Dhanta there telling us about where the Congress leaders have been taken. Meanwhile, we have some breaking news coming in about the Enforcement Directorate's investigation in the National Herald case. ED officials telling us that the National Herald investigation is still not complete. ED has placed similar notice like the one that was put at Herald House, for which Mallikarjun Kharge had to be present yesterday. Similar notice has been put on another property which is in Noida. ED is trying to find out who the owner of this property is. ED is trying to find if a shell company was registered on that property through which AJL received funds. It's Ashish Mehrishi who's speaking to his sources and getting us all these details. Ashish, just contextualize what officials are telling you. Ashish, am I...
know the number.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah, you're audible. You're absolutely audible. So, the Enforcement Directorate basically is looking at certain transactions where they have found that
certain companies, they were sending some sort of money into Associated Journal. On the face of it, it looks to be that certain shell companies have been used for transfer of funds into Associated Journal. Now, I've been speaking to my sources on this in the Enforcement Directorate, but we're very tight-lipped on the number of companies, the quantum involved, who are the people involved, what is the name of the companies. They're absolutely tight-lipped. So here is one property in Noida The search is still not concluded, as we know that the sealing notice was also placed on Herald House because they were not able to enter into Herald House or you can say the Young Indian office because there were no office bearers. Here again, the whereabouts of this person who owns this house is not traceable as of now. So the Enforcement Directorate is trying to find out if there is any shell company which was registered on this address through which money got transferred into AJL. So the search is still not concluded. Enforcement Directorate will conclude this search once they enter into these premises. They're trying to find out who owns this premises and what this premises was used for.